Happy Monday, everyone. It's good to see you again. I hope you are doing well and being safe and staying cool. That last part is getting harder to do with the Charlotte summer upon us, but it is good to see you in this way. Here is what is on my mind. I'm here on Trinity's campus where a lot of people are utilizing this space, neighbors going on walks. Our youth group actually met last night, properly social distancing and wearing masks when they needed to, just to sort of cap off their youth year. Major props to Jody and the youth advisors for maintaining the youth ministry during this stay-at-home time through Zoom and other means, and it was good for them to have this last in-person time before the summer begins. I'm also out here because our session decided this past Friday that we will begin in-person worship out here on Sunday, June the 21st. Not this coming Sunday, but a week from this coming Sunday, the 21st. I've already talked with you and shared information about the protocols and procedures that our worship ministry team created when this would happen. You can find those in a link below in the Monday message. Please check those out. Things like bringing your own lawn chair or blanket, bringing masks, social distancing, those kinds of things. But we will meet out here in this beautiful space. The steps or top of the steps will kind of be where the pulpit is. And then on either side of the steps, one will be where Rebecca and I sit, and the other will be where we have a digital piano and where Chris and maybe some others lead music. And then everybody else is going to kind of sit out here under the trees. Two things I want to just mention and emphasize. The first thing is that we are going to continue offering worship on Zoom and YouTube Live. We want to make sure that our homebound members who have been able to engage worship in this time will continue to do so. And we also are aware of some of our folks who have health issues that they may not want to come back in person quite yet. We don't want to leave either of those groups out. So we're going to continue to offer Zoom and YouTube Live. The second thing, which is going to make this first in-person worship even cooler, is that our 5 seniors, high school seniors, who had previously agreed to give their senior homilies are going to give those homilies at our first in-person worship on June the 21st. So we're excited from hearing from Blakely, Dean, David, Henry, and Louisa. They certainly will have a lot to tell us. They will essentially be the sermon for that Sunday. And it strikes me just the beautiful poetic justice, if you will, that the last time we had in-person worship was when our children led us in worship, and our first Sunday back in-person worship, our high school seniors are going to give the sermon. So I think that's kind of neat. The other thing that I want to share with you is something that I did earlier today. We all know that there are many protests going on. They continue to go on night after night in our city and all over the place, even in rural communities. I went to a special protest today uptown called a clergy die-in. I wore my stole like this. This is a stole that I had. I wore this. The purpose of the protest, it was coordinated by clergy for clergy. Part of it was some demands that area clergy are making of our elected officials and our police department. But another part of it was very meaningful and impactful. All of the white clergy got a picture of a person who has been killed or murdered unjustly. This is my picture. This is 15-year-old Jordan Edwards, who a few years ago was shot and killed. So we all got these different pictures with these names, and we lay down on the cement in front of the government center for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, which of course is the length of time that George Floyd was down on the ground as the police officers in Minneapolis were subduing him. This is a form of protest, even though we weren't marching through the streets and making chants. It's a form of protest. And as I alluded to earlier, we're seeing more and more of these protests. And I think it's important for us to remember in the church, not just Trinity, but the wider church, that we are literally a creation of a protest movement. We're called Protestants, and we've changed the pronunciation of that to make it a little easier, but really what that is Protestants. We were born 500 years ago out of a protest movement against the church and the culture at the time that was striving for justice and change. And throughout our history, we have continued to do those sorts of things. I think we're in one of those moments now, and I think the church is in a uniquely influential position to facilitate needed change so that people like Jordan and many others do not have to die needless deaths. And so I just wanted to mention that I hope that you are taking part in the Doing the Work initiative that our church started this past week. We are pushing that out to the public in social media, so it is something that can be shared with family and friends, neighbors, work colleagues, anyone who is interested in doing the work to confront and address our role in systemic racism. There is information again about how to be part of that effort below. We are all trying to be church in this time and witness to the love and justice of Jesus Christ in doing so. My friends, I am grateful as always for you and for our congregation, the ways that we are being church while we are apart, and the ways that we will continue being church even as we gather together. Continue reaching out to each other, continue sharing that love of Jesus with one another. And as always, if there's anything at all that you need, please don't hesitate to contact Rebecca or me. I hope you have a great rest of the Monday and a great week. Be safe, be kind, be church. Take care.